If you're an artist and you want to start selling a digital product without any audience or any experience, this video is for you. And I'm going to show you what was the problem the old way, what's the new way that we should do it. I'm going to then take you through how monetization looks like. And then we're going to go into scaling and how can I help you with this. And so the first part of it is selling a digital product with no audience and no experience. And I'm going to tell you a bit of a backstory real short here. In 2025, I started selling my first digital product. It was a product of $699. And I started selling it in April. In December 2025, during Christmas, during all the period where it was crowded, me and my wife went to London. She was pregnant. We lived Christmas and holidays, and we actually started packing our life because we were moving from the place that we were before in Lübeck to another flat in the one that I'm currently in. So we needed to do the whole transition, and I basically posted only content that already existed, content that I created during the year. And so what happened is by the end of December, I made $6,000 from the product itself and nothing else. And so I want to take you to show you how to do it, what was the problem, and what's the new way of doing it. Because we as artists, we want to create more. You as a creator, you want to create more because that's something that you want to do. That's something that's inside of you. Rather than fighting with funnels, landing pages, systems, and all sorts of stuff, you need to build first something that builds trust for you. So you need to have a first sale where you understand and gain the confidence that you can do it. And afterwards, sky is the limit. So let's dive into it. The problem first. Usually experts and gurus are teaching you that firstly, you need to create a lead magnet. So you need to create something that is like a small snack that you will offer them, but it won't be too big. It won't be too much value because they need to somehow have it, receive it, implement it so that as fast as possible so that they can see the value. Then you need to think that you need an email sequence for that because you gave them the lead magnet. So in order to make things easier, you need a lead sequence or an email sequence. And then on top of that, you need to think what type of keyword should they comment so that it's related to the lead magnet that will lead into the email sequence in order to send that thing, whatever you have, to them. On top of that, you also need to give absolutely everything up to a point where they got enough value and then they will buy from you. Plus, my worst nightmare, you need to create funnels. And if you think of it as an artist, some of them might not be even in your vocabulary. If you think of a creator, some of them, you might not even know what do you need to do because we are focusing on the creation part, on creating stuff, on the art, rather than thinking about the business side and all systems and all sorts of shit. I love doing the second part more. I still do the creation part, but I also love doing the second part. So for me, that comes easy. But for some of you, it might not come that easy, and that's completely fine. And so the new way, how I think it's way better, is you grab a skill that you're having and you create a product out of it. That skill is something that you already use. For me, it could be a preset pack with a video of how to use the preset pack and how to edit with the preset pack. It could be a color grading manual, the one that I used for almost 2 years, a year and something, in order to sell. It could be a LUT package as a videographer. It could be a way of painting just with 2 colors, so creating a very awesome painting in 2 colors. It would be how to sketch something. It's something that it should be something that is not so broad that you're gonna think it's gonna serve for everyone. So I'm not going to say learn photography in 20 days, so that everyone that would be slightly interested in photography all of a sudden would access that product and will make all of them happy, because it won't. And usually in the beginning, this is just a bracket, but usually in the beginning, as photographers, we don't want to invest into skills. We want to invest into gear, to have more gear to carry around, to stuff. Later on, we realize gear's nothing. We need more knowledge. And so that's something that you should start with. You have a product, you packed it, and then you create content to show the usage of that product that you created. If I'm having a presets package, my next step in creating content is eventually going around with my camera and showing how I took a shot and how it looks before and after I added the presets. If I'm creating content for the color grading manual, I'm focusing on how to use two colors to color grade. I'm focusing on explaining how two colors can add or can make a photo better or make it worse. If you're a videographer, you can show before and after with the LUTs. If you're a painter, you can show if you're using 5 colors in a painting, how it would look versus the same painting only in 2 colors. So it will change and shift the perspective of the person that is seeing. So that's how you create content, and then you introduce them that you have a product. So in the description, I'll say something like, if you're more interested into the color grading manual, or if you're, for me, it worked, if you're sick of copying other styles from other people, and you're sick of not understanding the knowledge behind it, comment color and I'll send you a link to my product. For you in the beginning, we don't want to have 20 systems and things automated and blah, blah, because if we don't have the base, we won't understand how things are working and how we can then, where we can then improve. And so in the beginning, you can just say, you can just advertise your product by saying, hey, I got a product for this that will help you do this, 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 and that. Link in bio. Yes, it's another action that people would need to take, as in, short, if you're saying comment word and I'll send you this, then what happens, you need to think in steps or in actions. As in, if someone is on the reel and it's commenting the word, basically they need to tap on the bubble for comments and comment the word, right? And then you send them automatically in the DM something. What's this? This is basically, this here is basically a 2-step, and they receive that thing. So they reach here, they comment, they received it in DMs. It's 1, writing the comment, 2, going into the DMs, and they found it. If you're not using the automation, because we're at the beginning, and you say link in bio, what happens is they need to, one action is to press on, they see the reel, and then the next question, the next thing is to slide. They're sliding, they're reaching your profile. The second action is to open the product. So if you're having, let's say on the landing page that you're having another step, or you're having a checkout, or you get what I'm getting. You add more steps and more steps, which with every single of these steps that you add, you will lose people along the way. So in the beginning, you're going to use link in bio, although it might have some 1-step plus. You're going to use that because we don't want any automation. We don't want to go anywhere bazookas. We don't want to do anything that is outside of the basic stuff for now. Once you do that, people will get to your landing page. Now, what's next? We already talked about show how it helps and how good it is. That's content on, hey, in my color grading manual, that's how I did it. In my color grading manual on page that specific page 5 or 6, you'll understand why if you're using this color with this complementary color, you'll basically have a better mood or a mood that focuses towards that direction. Meaning, all of a sudden, you're thinking, one, where's that manual? Because I would be interested because you're demonstrating what's in it and how it works. So that's how it helps. Curiosity strikes. I would also like that product. Let's see where it is. Let's see what the creator says. Then you have another piece of content where you're saying, this is who it is for and this is who it's not for. So if you're a photographer and you have no clue how to color grade, so I already said for whom it is, you have no clue how to color it, but you're sick of copying other color grades from others or other styles from others, then this video is for you. So I already said, who is this for? Who is it not for? And then introduce them to the color grading manual, introduce them to the product. If you're a videographer and you're sick of using someone else's LUTs, and you also want to understand what color grading is done, how color grading is done, then this video is for you. Also a way of saying it so that you introduce them to who is it for, who is it not for, what am I getting out of it? Cool. Next one. Direct them to your link in bio and sell. We already discussed about it. That's exactly how it's done. The next step would be when you want to scale, sell more to one customer rather than acquiring a new one. This is heavy at the beginning. I'm just going to say 2-3 words about it. When a client or when a person decides to buy something from you, let's say when you have a person, not sure if it is a person, but anyhow, when you have this one that decides to spend money with you, it's easier to give something more to this person to spend money on rather than trying to grab another person to spend money with you. And you do that by giving them different offers or splitting a product into different levels or grades of expertise. Or it's a totally different video of how to do that. I'm going to make another video on that. But just for now, as an idea, it's easier to sell more things to one specific person rather than selling just one thing to one person and then trying to acquire a new person and trying to give them something to sell. All right, so let's see how monetization looks like. I'm gonna wipe this a bit here so that we have a bit more space so it's not disturbing you and you can understand what I'm doing. All right, so firstly, we discussed that you take a skill and you build a product. I don't care what model, what type of product, what format you can do it. If you're a musician and you decide to do a guitar tab, do it like that. If you're a videographer and you want to do LUTs, do LUTs. If you're a photographer and you want to do presets, do presets. If you're into videography and you want to tell people how to color grade with DaVinci Resolve in under 30 minutes, a video of 5 minutes, or 2 scenes or 3 scenes, then use that as a format. Record a video. I don't care. It could be here. It could be video. It could be a Google Doc. It could be a PDF. It could be any type of extension. That meaning it could be presets, it could be LUTs.xml, whatever. It could be Notion document, whatever. As long as the information is there and it's valuable, you won. Now, step 2, create a landing page as simple as possible. Now, I want you here to create a landing page wherever you want. It can be Gumroad. It could be Stand Store. It can be whatever crosses your mind. I don't care. What I do care about is to have somewhere a landing page so that people can pay for your product. Now, in this specific state, what's more important is to start with everything that you don't need to pay for: software, for tools, for anything, because we're testing things. We're making things so that the risk is as small as possible. That's what I want you to do. So if you're using Gumroad, it's completely free. They're having a high percentage of what they will grab from what you earn. But in the end, building that confidence is way more valuable than Gumroad grabbing 15%, let's say, of what you'll make from that specific product. Now, I want you to think that when you're pricing it, I want you to think that it should be $6.99, if you ask me, if you never created any product. It should be something under $10 if you never created a product, because you want to build that trust and that confidence in yourself. Now, once you have the first 2, 3, 4 sales, we will add some more stuff into the product, and then we'll make it more valuable, and then we can raise the price. By the way, if you want, I have a community where I'm helping people to launch a digital product and to make sure that they're gaining at least one customer from it. I've been doing this with the students inside the community. We've been creating offers, digital products. We started selling them. We had launches. I'm going to be the brother that will be doing it by your side. I'm not going to send you to any other guru. I'm not going to send you, you're not going to pay for the community and be sent to another O2C or other colleague of mine or whatsoever. We'll be working together in groups that are happening weekly. The link is in the description. There are more details. So once you have that landing page or a software somewhere where you'll create the landing page, I want you to think that you don't need to have what you'll write on the landing page. It's basically at the top, you'll write what this product helps with. If you're a photographer and you want to edit faster, these presets are for you. It includes a tutorial of 90 minutes showing you step by step how I do it. It's a promise that if they buy that product, you have to deliver on that promise. And so when that's the top, that's something that I would start with. And then you have some sections inside the landing page, as in who is it for? How does it help? Testimonials if you have, or reviews, testimonials. I know I'm writing like an elephant. It looks so bad. And I think that's it for now. Just make it simple so that people don't need to scroll 2 minutes through the landing page, and they also don't need to go through 20 pages in order to understand where they're at and who is it serving and blah, blah. We're going to make it easy. Step 3, make your first sales. I'm going to help you make your first sale. Firstly, if you're joining the community and we're releasing your digital product, I'm going to be the first customer. That doesn't count for my promise that I'll get you your first customer. I'll get you another one, but I'll be your first customer. Now, for me, as I said, in the first year, I did $20,000 and more just from selling one specific digital product. And December alone, it was $6,000 just from that. Now, we discussed that you might not have an audience nor experience. The experience side of it, we've explained it so far. I think it's clear so far. No audience. That's fine. Because social platforms nowadays are based on interest. They're not based like they were before on influencing and needing to have 10,000 subscribers or followers in order to be able to post something so that it gets traction, so that it gets the views. The influencer era, from my perspective, is kind of gone. And so what happens is what you say, what words you choose is what will drive the algorithm. And so think of it like this. When you were going on Google and you were searching for something, you weren't writing 10 phrases about that thing that you were searching. You are trying to make it into 5 words. Meaning, if I'm searching for something on the news about a specific country or in a specific city, in a specific industry, I would have went to Google and searched for something like updates about tunnels in Romania. And then Google would start searching the keywords into the websites and would give me back what would be the best fit. Now think of it exactly the same way. We have 2 examples here. First one, if I talk to people that work in the corporate world, I need to know their vocabulary. They talk about KPIs. They talk about risk reward. They talk about feedback sessions. They talk about management. They talk about CEOs. They talk about 6 months reviews. They talk about promotions, gaps. They talk about all sorts of stuff that are heard every single fucking day in the corporate world, one by one, every single day. Excel files, maybe. I don't know, but I was using them. And so you use words like this so that the people that are in corporate would relate and understand the words. Because if I'm trying to talk to photographers and I'm talking about KPIs to photographers, what's a KPI for a photographer? What's 6 months reviews for a photographer? They won't understand it. And it's completely fine because it's nothing that they need to understand. And so I'm not talking to them. I'm not using that vocabulary. Let's say photographers. If I'm talking to photographers, I'm naming them directly. If you're a photographer and you're trying to edit 500 photos in under 10 minutes, I have a Photoshop action script that will clean up the face in a portrait, just as an example. And so I directly talk to them. If you're a photographer and you have no clue how to color grade, then this video is for you. I used this so many times in my when I was advertising my color grading manual, and sometimes it would go into 500,000 views of people that were at that specific stage and bought my color grading manual because I named them exactly, and the algorithm understand, okay, we need to show this to the people that are interested into this keyword, interested. And so the next thing that happened is the algorithm finds it easier to know who to show it to. Next thing, you can get shitloads of views from your first video, even if you haven't posted absolutely anything. If you create something so valuable and you send it to that specific algorithm on Instagram, on YouTube, or whatsoever, the job for the algorithm or the audience is to see that specific piece of content. So the algorithms want you to win so that the people that see that stay as much as they can on their platform. It's a win-win situation. You need to think it like this. And so you don't need to have a lot of followers to start selling something. I would start selling, maybe not from day one, but if you create content for a week and then you slowly start selling something or trying to tackle to sell something, it's way better. Next step. Don't listen to people that say you can't sell from the start. You don't have to wait. So I tested it on myself, and for 1.5 years, I haven't sold anything. And all the people that came on my account, they were never filtered. So the people that saw the content and people that started following, they were never filtered, meaning all the followers that I had thought from the beginning, this is just a creator that creates stuff for free or accepts money from platforms far away. Because when I started selling something, I had a bunch of people saying, oh, so now you're like the other creators that you're trying to sell your products and you're promoting them. Yeah, because this is a business. But if you do it from the start or from the beginning, it will be a filter, knowing that you give value to people, and that's completely fine. But at some point, you'll also ask something in return. You also sell your products in return, because in the end, it's a business that you want to grow. And so people will get used to the idea that you also promote your stuff. So whoever is there just for the free stuff, they can be there. Whoever's upset that from time to time you sell something, they can leave. And so you have a way more engaged audience than just not selling anything. The free creator is not a brand, and it's a habit that you taught your audience. So let's sell something from the beginning and slowly build something. Step number 6. When you're at that moment, it gets easier to sell more to one customer rather than acquiring a new one. It's exactly what I told you. In December 2025, I sold this 6K of digital products. And from these 6K, I managed to upsell one person that bought a coaching program for 3K. So I gave someone something small, something that they needed, something that solved some of their problems now, ASAP. And then after that, they wanted more, or they wanted to work, he wanted to work together because he was at a specific point where he wanted to monetize and he didn't want to do it alone. So he decided, I want to work personally with you, one-to-one, not in a community, but one-to-one, to be able to book whenever some sessions with you so that we can work together, we can create stuff together. Completely fine. So from a product that was $60 color grading manual, first one, to the advanced color grading manual, to the videos, and then reaching to upsell something to 3,000. That's why I'm saying it's easier to sell more to one specific customer rather than selling one single thing and always trying to find new customers. Because also finding new customers, it's a bit of a, you need to focus on leads, you need to do a lot of stuff and more work rather than someone already grabbed the card and swiped it with you. Just give them some more things, help them with more, and they will want some more. Plus you build more trust and so on. And so if you're at this stage and you want to monetize and you don't want to do it alone, I have a community for that. We're having 2 sessions per week. We're building, we're launching. I'm helping you with every single step. It's also online support. We're having it like 2 times per week. And it's also offline support. It's 24/5. And I'm replying in around 24, 48 hours maximum. I'm replying so that you won't miss something and you won't need to wait for my answer up until next week when you would have already needed to launch. And then we change everything. Links in the description. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.